Hello people, today let's talk about what is trending. What is trending right now is the arrest of our prophetic dawn. When it comes to prophecy, he is the number one. He is the king. We are talking about none other than our famous Bishop Feyi Daniel of Nigeria. He was arrested on the 17th of April 2023, accused of raping two of his church women, amongst other counts. Remember, he is the same bishop who made two important prophecies that we are waiting to see if they will come to pass. Number one, he made a prophecy about the president-elect of Nigeria, President Tinubu, that he will not be sworn in on the day of the swearing in, that he will be arrested on that same day. He also made a prophecy about Cameroon, that in a couple of weeks or months ahead, Cameroon will be in political unrest, and the president of Cameroon will be removed from power. We are waiting for these two prophecies to come to pass, and we will crown him the GOAT, the greatest of all times when it comes to prophecies. Let's not talk much. Let me allow you to watch the video for yourself.
Let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing the arrest of Bishop Daniel Feyi, founder of Iron Christian Ministry, for allegedly raping two of his church members. On Monday, the bishop was remanded in Kirikiri Correctional Center by Justice Ramon Oshodi of an Ikeja Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Court. The clergyman pled not guilty, and his counsel requested bail, which was granted by the court in the sum of 20 million naira with two sureties. The judge also ordered the defendant to deposit his international passport with the chief registrar of the court after prosecution argued that he was a flight risk. The pastor came into limelight after predicting during one of his sermons that Nigeria's president-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, would not be sworn in as president of Nigeria on May 29th, but instead will be arrested on Inauguration Day.
How will this revolution start? Hear me. How will the revolution start? Somehow, the information will spill out that the election was rigged. Then the youth will get to the street. It won't just be Lagos. It will be almost every state of Nigeria. The youth will get to the street and they will start the protests. These protests will lead to a revolution. Peter Obi will go to court. He will go to court. And the day for swearing in Tinubu will come. I saw white, I saw green. About to be sworn in that day. And everybody that I said is the next president will be rejoicing. They will say, yes, I told you. And while at that event, it looks like a very open ground, like a stadium-like center. You know, I'm telling you what will happen. So, while at that event, military men will come in and they will arrest Tinubu. And at that point, an interim government will rule Nigeria.
Well, this whole issue has caused a lot of debate on social media, whether or not it was because he talked about Tinubu or he actually raped those women, which is the main conversation for me right now. But you know, on Monday, the pastor posted a video where he stated that during a church service that the allegations against him were untrue and were politically motivated.
I know for sure that all the attacks against me are politically motivated, and the goal is to discredit my voice as a prophet because I took a stand.
Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Omolere, who wrote, Bola Tinubu has not been sworn in. He is already going after pastors. Touch not my anointed. You may keep quiet today because he is not your pastor or because you support APC. It will soon be your turn. First, it was Prophet Tomi Arayomi. Now, Bishop Feyi Daniel. Well, Pastor Sam wrote, your prophecy must not contradict the law of the land, for we know in part and we prophesy in part. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Even when God told you something and you knew it was going to contravene the law of the country, you need to apply wisdom. I mean, I think that Prophet Sam's tweet right there is quite apt. I mean, I cannot say what pastors should say or what pastors should not say at this point. I'm not a lawyer. But the main issue really at this junction is whether or not he raped those women. We have seen this type of stories. Ayo, I want to start with you because we've seen these prophets, that have been convicted of rape, yes, raping their, members and yes, all of that. And even when my mother died, I believe I got some messages regarding this particular pastor. And, the message was about 2 women complaining that he had raped them. I mean, I couldn't verify the story and I was going through my whole mess. So, I mean, and I also heard that he had been arrested once because of the rape charges as well. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yes, I mean, rape is a very serious issue in Nigeria. For over the years, they've tried to get a strong conviction for it, and currently, minimum, depending on where you're looking, criminal code under the penal code, minimum sentence if found guilty is 12 years, and maximum is life imprisonment in Nigeria. So it is a crime as recognized in Nigerian law. However, the burden of proof is that when you charge someone to court an allegation of rape, it must be proven, or it should be proven. And usually the challenge in a conviction is trying to get the proof. It's one of those crimes that the proof is quite difficult to obtain because of what's involved in it. However, in terms of Bishop Feyi Daniel, as with you, initially when this his prophecy became quite popular, especially before the elections, I'd done a quick search on him because just to find the authenticity, the background of the bishop. And one of the things that came up on the first page were these allegations by these 2 church members. He's not the first person as a cleric who would be accused of such. Therefore, I wouldn't say it's a surprise. However, what some people have said in terms of likening it to persecution because of what he has said is what then becomes a topic of conversation. That is this a targeted, yes, as we've often said, you have a crime, it's targeted because he said something that does not sit well with powers that be. Again, you cannot take it away from what recently happened with Prophet Tomi Arayomi. What Nigerians have feared is the suppression of religious freedom, and that a crime that's done can then be used against you, because the same fervor should be used to arrest immediately the man, Malam Yuri in Adamawa, who has been accused. And on this show, we said the same. So it shouldn't be seen as different sets of law or action depending on who you are in Nigeria. That's where the challenge is, the swiftness of this and the fact that it's come just after he's made these claims.
Absolutely. Dr. Bati, really quickly.
Well, I think it's important that we make a distinction between the law and shamanism. Because the entire, structure of your presentation is trying to say, there's a connection between what the bishop said and, maybe politics.
And it's unfortunate because that's the rhetoric on social media instead of the main issue.
No, there are 2 separate things. A pastor is not above the law.
Yes.
At issue here is that this particular bishop is being accused of rape in 2 instances. Of having unlawful carnal knowledge of a female Homo sapien the first time and the second time. 2 female Homo sapien in this particular case. And rape is a very serious crime in Nigeria. Section 357 of the Criminal Code, Section 358 of the Criminal Code, Section 282 of the Penal Code, Section 1 of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2015. And this is what the court will look at on the basis of evidence available. Now, the Domestic Violence Court in Lagos, acting under the criminal laws of Lagos State, has now said he has a case to answer. But he has been remanded in Kirikiri till May, when the case has been adjourned for trial.
Or he gets bail.
Yes. Well, it's been, once the bail is perfected, then, but the next hearing is in May 11, to be specific. Now, that's what we need to focus on.
Absolutely.
Is he guilty as charged? If he's not guilty, let him prove it. 2 different cases against him. So, a pastor does not enjoy immunity under the laws of the land.